Welcome back to Vaisla Channel's Cyber Law series. I am Suresh Kumar, advocate. Our today's topic is cyber defamation. Though it is not a part in the Information Technology Act, due to its importance and for knowledge purpose, I am covering this topic in this video. Most of the topics that are necessary to understand in a practical parlance, I have covered those topics, and the previous topics videos can be accessed in the link given below in the description box. Let us go to the topic now. Cyber defamation. It is not defined in the Information Technology Act, but still we are using the term cyber defamation. Means what and why, how to redress the issue. That is our object of this video. In order to understand the cyber defamation, you must first understand the term defamation first. Defamation is defined under IPC alone. There are certain ingredients which have to be fulfilled to attract the offense of defamation. It is defined under section 499 IPC. What is that defamation mentioned in the 499 IPC? Any imputation, it's the first ingredient, and second one is with an intention to harm. Harm what? Harm the reputation of any person. That is the second ingredient. Third one is by words either spoken or by signs or by visible representations, which is to be made as well as published. That is the third and fourth ingredients. So, in order to attract an offense of defamation, there must be some imputation against a person, and that must be with an intent to cause harm with regard to the reputation of such person, and by means of any words either spoken or by signs or by visible representations, and it should be made and it has to be published. So these are the ingredients first of all to be covered. But at the same time, there are some 10 exceptions mentioned in the Act itself. Even if it is made and if it comes within the 10 exceptions, then it is not an offense. That is the law. What are the 10 exceptions mentioned in the Act? If such imputation is made in the interest of public good, 1, and 2 is public conduct of public servants, and 3 is conduct of any person touching any public question, 4th is publication of reports of court proceedings, and 5 is opinion about merits of the cases decided in court or conduct of witnesses and others. 6 is merits of public performance. 7 is censure passed in good faith by person having lawful authority. 8 is accusation preferred in good faith to the authorized person. And 9 one is in good faith by person for protection of his or others' interests. And 10 is in good faith intended as caution. So all the exceptions are targeting the public good, and even public officers' conduct can be discussed, and in good faith if it is made, it is not an offense. So freedom of speech is regulated within the parameters. If it is, then it is not an offense, and if it infringes the others' rights, then obviously you are making an offense under section 499 IPC. So this is called defamation. And if the defamation is made, the punishment is only 2 years and fine is imposed. Then that if the same defamation is committed online as a tool, the defamation committed through online as a tool, then it is called a cyber defamation, nothing more. The liability is against the author and as well as on the service provider or intermediary. How far that intermediary or service provider is responsible is a particular question. In normal speaking, defamation, the only author alone is responsible. If it is made in the printed books, printer will be also made as a party. What for he is made as a party? Because without him that offense is not committed. So in order to remove the content, so obviously the printer is also made as a party in the defamation proceedings, either in civil or criminal proceedings. Likewise, the liability is as against the author of the content as well as against the intermediaries or service providers. See, there is a provision under Information Technology Act, Section 79. Section 79 speaks about there is an exemption from liability of intermediary in certain cases. That is very limited. That is, the third party information is when transmitted or temporarily stored, they are not liable. They are not liable for the third party's information when they are processing, transmitting, or temporarily stored in their server. But there is an exception. If it is known to them and they are supporting the accused, then obviously they are also liable for defamation. But how far that protection is good to the will save the intermediaries and service providers? It's a question. There's an interesting question that was discussed by the Honorable High Court of Delhi in Swami Ramdev and other versus Facebook and others. It's an interesting case. In case it is decided in the year of 2019, in which a lot of points were raised by the petitioner. That is to remove the defamatory content from the almost all the platforms of cyber medium. Especially it's actually the case is as against the Facebook, Google, Twitter and YouTube and most of the service providers are connected as a defendants, and against them this particular relief is claimed. An interesting question is whether the Indian courts have jurisdiction to deal with the matter, to restrict the content in overall the world. Whether this court can have powers to pass orders against in global level. Whether a particular content can be blocked global level is the question, in which this section 79 of IT Act is very much discussed, came for discussion, and also the other points that are whether the identity of a person uploading the video is shown on YouTube at the beginning or end of the video, and if not, for what reason, and if can any video which is uploaded on YouTube be edited by YouTube. These are the questions also raised by the court, for which answers also found after an elaborate discussion. In order to pass the remedy to be effective, a global blocking order ought to be passed. That was the verdict, and at last it was discussed, and at last it was ordered that if the unlawful act would be the dissemination of such content in India, and thus in those cases the platforms may resort to geo-blocking. So injunction as against the entire global is positive and possible. That was the order granted in the said case. So those who cannot able to process some online defamatory contents may resort this process, that is prefer complaint as against the content of the author as well as the against the service provider in a proper manner, so that you will be getting suitable remedy. With this information we are concluding this video. The rest of the topic we'll cover in next videos. Hope you enjoy well.